Hey, welcome everyone and welcome to yet another episode in my channel. It's your girl again, Chi Dazzle. Today's topic, we'll be talking about choosing a career, and there are 5 things, and there are lots of things actually which you can actually put into perspective before and when you decide to go into something like a career. I'm going to bring to you today some of the things you need to think first, you need to put into perspective before trying to make a career out of yourself. Number one is you need to assess yourself. You need to be sure that you know and you like everything about the particular career which you're about to choose. So more often than not, people tend to go into various careers because, well, that's the only job available, or I've been looking for jobs so much and there's really nothing for me to do rather than just do this or do the other one without thinking for a minute. Is this something that I love? Is this something that would make me, my skills and my strengths and everything, would it come out? People forget the fact that you can actually be anything. You can actually choose a career. The things are not even out there. You can make one for yourself and you could be very good at what you're doing. There are various careers people look away from, like, let's say the fashion designers that we call the people who sew the dresses. We've got the shoemakers. We've got like picking and packing of goods. We've got so many things. We've got like so much out there that you can actually do as a career. You can actually be out there in the offices. You can actually make a career out of yourself. You can actually bring things. You can build your own empire. You can build your own business and it will turn to a career. People forget that you can actually make something out of nothing and it would be something that you would really sit back and relax and say, I have done well for myself. This is what I have done solely. I started from the scratch. So we all need to assess yourself. We all need to assess ourselves before we make a career decision. You need to know that if you like the career, you need to know if it's something you want to do. You need to know more about the career. You need to have the basic skills, the expertise. You need to have the strength to do this of which you want to do. Secondly, we'll also be looking at, before building a career, you need to write a list of obviously the things that you really like, the things that you might want to do, the things that interest you first. You need to make a list of them and start to look at the specific list. You don't really want to get carried away by having so much in your head and saying, oh, I want this, I want that, I want that. You're going to get confused about which you want. So it's better to have a list of the things that you might be interested in. Then you start to read about them, you start to have knowledge of them, you start to look into them, you start to participate in little things here and there just to get yourself ready for the task ahead of you. It could be an office work, it could be going to the office, it could be an organization, it could actually be your own business. You need to look into the things that you want to do first before you start a career. A career doesn't mean that it could be working for an organization. You can actually build your own empire. I'm going to use people for instance. People maybe in the UK here, the NHS, the health officials. Right now, there are things that people who tend to want to save lives are people who are in the capabilities of helping people, and this is the skills that they've got, this is the strength that they've got. They're a people's person. Then we could also look back in places like in Africa, Nigeria, where I'm from. We'll be looking at like Dangote started from nothing. He started doing his own business. He went into cemetery. From there he expanded into telecommunication and what you name it. You have to start from something, and it has to be something that you are very good at, something that will bring out the best in you. Thirdly, before you think about a career, you need to think about your short-term and your long-term goals. You need to also realize that in as much as you want this, you need to be sure that it's something that is going to move forward. You need to look at the market, you need to look at the capital, you need to look at the market out there, you need to look at the people and the things that, if this business or if these things you want to bring into perspective, if it's actually something that will get the crowd. You need to look at your long-term goals, you need to look at your short-term goals. Is it a business business, or is it an organization that if you go into it, it's going to be for short term, or if you go into it, it's going to attract the crowd and it's going to grow, and you're going to develop yourself from it. All these things are things you need to look into before building or deciding or choosing a career for yourself. People out there tend to obviously listen to parents, you tend to listen to things people would say, oh, you know, if I go into music, for example, or, you know, what would family say, what would they say? If that is what you are good at, please go into it, because when you hit it big, everyone is going to forget all that you have done. Secondly, if you have a flair for acting, if you have a flair for shoemaking, hairdressing, if you have a flair for massages, if you have a flair for childminding, there are so many things out there that could be a meaningful career to you. But please, please, and please, again, before you choose a career, make sure it's something that you like to do, and make sure you assess yourself, make sure you are ready intellectually, make sure you have the knowledge of what you want to do, make sure you have the skills, make sure you have the strength, and make sure you have the capabilities before venturing into a career, a business, or going into an organization. So I wish you luck in that career of yours which you're about to choose, and I wish you luck in the career which you've chosen for yourself, and I'll see you in my next video. For those of you who haven't subscribed yet, please do just click on the subscription button, like and share, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.